Okay, the problem says, what is the percentage strength, volume to volume of glycerin in a mixture of 700 milliliters of 25% glycerin, 500 milliliters of 15% glycerin, and a sufficient quantity of water to make 1,500 milliliters? Round the answer to the nearest whole number. All right, so unlike the first two examples, here we have two products we're going to combine. So the 700 milliliter solution and the 500 milliliter solution. But then after that, a sufficient quantity of water will be added to make a total volume of 1,500 milliliters. So we'll need to remember this will be our final volume. We will not need to add up anything because they're telling us what our final volume will be. Okay, but we do need to determine, well, how much glycerin it will be in the final product so we can determine that final percent strength. Okay, so 700 milliliters of 25% glycerin, so that's going to be 25 milliliters for every 100 milliliters. And we need to know, well, how many milliliters of glycerin would be in that 700 milliliters. I'll just put an X there. We'll solve for X. We set up our proportion, do our algebra, and you should end up with X equals 175 milliliters of the glycerin. Okay, and we'll do the same thing for the 500 milliliter solution, which is a 15% concentration. So that's 15 milliliters for every 100 milliliters. And of course, we need to find out how many milliliters would it be for 500 milliliters. Do our algebra, we solve for X, should get 75 milliliters. Well, and that's 75 milliliters of glycerin. And we're going to add these up. We'll find the sum. And we should end up with 250 milliliters. Well, this problem's simple because we already know the total volume, like we mentioned, 1,500 milliliters. So we're going to have 250 milliliters of the active ingredient, in this case, the glycerin. And we'll divide that by the 1,500 milliliters, which is the quantity of the final product. And we can use our algorithm to convert a fraction to a percent. Numerator divided by denominator times 100. And we should end up with, it does say round to the nearest whole number, should end up with 17%. And that is our final answer here. And again, this example is different from the previous two examples because right off the bat, they tell us what the total quantity of the final product will be.